So if you look at the ingredients, like the beta carotene is, I believe, at 4,000,
Right.
and then the one a day, it's at 1,000. So somebody, depending on what their day's like or their weekend, did they go to a concert last night and they're living off caffeine and nicotine? Maybe you need all four. Are they going for a juice bar today and a salad
Right.
bar? Maybe they just need one. So supplementation is just that. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah.
You need more in winter, less in summer, depending on what your day is like, depending on your intake. Um,
Yep.
Supplementation is just that. And this product of the estrogen detox will basically really start to pull out those strong estrogens and make them easier for elimination through the bile and the urine. And I think it was you and Aaron at one point when this first product first came out, you said this product worked very, very quickly on your patients. And so I've always gleaned
Yep.
that, and I try to steer people, then you know your baseline of what you're around every day. You perhaps don't need two every day, right? Would you concur with that?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Healthy Habit Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. D, Dr. Dayon here at Healthy Habit Medical Center, located right inside Healthy Habit Health Foods. And you tuned in, folks, to episode 123 today, 123, with none other than the legend. Stacy Faulkner, folks, is back with us here representing Emerald Labs in our monthly check-in with Emerald. And last time we talked to Stacy was episode 105, back at the end of March there. So hope you're going to enjoy this one here with us today. Stacy has worked in the natural health industry since 2024 years now. As a national educator for Emerald Labs, Stacy provides insight and understanding to those seeking information regarding better health through proper supplementation and self-care. So let's dive right into this topic here today, which is women's health and anti-aging for women. It's pretty much 75% of patients that we see here at the clinic are women, and a lot of preventative medicine, naturopathic, functional medicine patients are women. It's just whatever. I don't know why. That's just how it worked out, And then the husband comes in after they get dragged in by their wife. So let's start. The stage is yours, Stacy. Where do you want to start us? Why did you want to choose this topic today?
So the reason I want to talk about because we're just a few days short of May, and May is
Right.
Women's Wellness Month, and so I wanted to highlight some of the products that Emerald Labs carries and has formulated by Dr. Stangler specifically for women's health, anti-aging, balancing and detoxing oxidative stress from daily estrogens that we're gathering. So I thought it would be applicable to go ahead and kind of dive into just women's health and wellness and talk about, and especially with Healthy Habits, got a lot of those products on the shelf. And so the listeners can kind of tool around and look around from what we're talking about. And then your listeners as well can kind of follow up on their own with this
Absolutely.
information.
Absolutely. How important is a multivitamin slash multimineral for women 45 plus in those perimenopausal years, late 40s, as they're transitioning into the
Sure.
menopausal stage of their life?
Yeah, so I think it's very important, even pre like in the younger ages, like around 20s. I think it's not too soon to start something like that, especially if you're studying a lot, you're working out a lot, that causes a lot of oxidative stress. I think a daily multi is one of the most important things for somebody, especially if they're not getting enough of the nutrients in their daily food. We know that the soil nutrition is pretty poor these days. So you really have to be looking at organic, whole foods and have a lot of them. So we know getting a daily RDA of the many vitamins that we need, the many minerals we need, and then all the antioxidant protection that the body needs is somewhat hard to get in our daily food intake. So I think a daily multi is pretty imperative for people. I think it's good for overall brain cognition for long term, having the cells stay really strong, DNA staying really strong, um, having the healthy skin, I think is really important to maintain. Yeah, so here you go. You've got the women's 45 plus up here, and we do have a straight women's as well.
Yeah.
But this women's 45 plus is chock full of a lot of ingredients that are necessary with a gently aging woman. And so right away we're looking at the B9, so methylated folate. So I think it's important listeners to understand that with Emerald Labs, we are using the coenzymated B complex. And the
Right.
one that you just showed here, the 120 count, that would be a 4 a day that is completely therapeutic. So clinical amounts, they're therapeutic. And then a lot of people, though, unfortunately want to go down to a 1 a day.
Right.
But with Emerald Labs, what we've done is we packed that little capsule so chock full of vitamins and minerals. And like you see here, um, lycopene and alpha lipoic acid, grapeseed extract. All the minerals we're using are biglycinates, Albion, and so highly, highly absorbable. And then the active forms of the B vitamins, as far as the B2, the 6, the 12, and the folate. So we're looking at sustaining neurotransmitter production and assimilation, supporting the adrenals, homocysteine regulation, super important for women to hopefully try to avoid heart disease, which is the big one in America for women. Um, so getting pregnant, staying pregnant. Now, I know we're looking at 45 plus here, but there are some women still that are getting pregnant after the age of 40 and after the age of 45. We're starting to see some at 50. So I
Wow.
think really important to have some of the folic acid, I mean, the folate, important to maybe keep the whole body healthy in case there wants to be a pregnancy. Um, so for that egg to stick and have a healthy pregnancy for the mom and the baby throughout. Then we've got the whole bet. We've got the
Hmm.
CoQ10 in the 45 plus, the minerals that are super important. We also have broccoli extract in here for an estrogenic detoxification, for the sulforaphane. And then also what we've got in here is you see that we've got this glutathione, the cetriol glutathione. So this is a patented ingredient,
Right.
in its 3 molecule format. And so it's the glycine, the glutamate, and the cysteine. And glutathione, if people don't know, is our body's master antioxidant. And so this company guarantees absorption, and the glutathione will not oxidize on its own. And it's kind of like a Superman. So it's free radical scavenging every single day, fighting off the oxidative stress that we garner every day from working out, from poor diet, from environmental toxicity to excitotoxicity, the xenoestrogens. There's really um, a lot that we take in every day that really toxifies the body. So glutathione is a master antioxidant and a great detoxifier. And it's really great for overall just keeping longevity. And the people that live the longest, I tend to hear that they have the highest amount of glutathione stored. And it is something that we make within ourselves, but it's good to supplement with it. I'm sure you'll agree,
Yeah.
because if we age, glutathione depletes. And so it repairs the damaged cells caused by stress and radiation and pollution,
Yeah.
host of ailments.
And again, folks, we're looking at the women's, in this case specific. They have a
Yes.
men's version as well, but this is specifically the women's 45 plus clinical multi, a 1 a day formula, which is nice. A lot of multis are like 2, 3, or 4 a day. So that's good. And you have 120 capsules. This will last you 4 months at 1 cap a day. Am I getting that correct? One capsule, you said?
Well, this is the clinical
Yeah, okay,
potency.
this one's 4. Sorry.
This is 4 a day, but I do recommend a lot if somebody just wants to buy it once.
Right.
This is fractionated, Dehan. So if you look at the ingredients, like the beta carotenes, I believe at 4,000,
Right.
and then the 1 a day, it's at 1,000. So somebody, depending on what their day's like or their weekend, did they go to a concert last night and they're living off caffeine and nicotine? Maybe you need all four. Are they going for a juice bar today and a salad
Right.
bar? Maybe they just need one. So supplementation is just that. I'm sure you'll agree.
Yeah.
You need more in winter, less in summer, depending on what your day is like, depending on your intake. Um,
Yep.
Supplementation is just that.
And yeah, that was my fault. But Emerald does have the 1 a day options as well. So
Absolutely.
just always make sure you check on that. By the way, come talk to Stan, the demo man. He's here at Healthy Habit Tuesdays through Saturdays, constantly showing Emerald products. So you can come talk to Stan on that to get this very specific details on that nailed down. So you can see in this formula, we have the Pure Whey C, vitamin C, and the C-tria glutathione, which Emerald
Mhm.
has these as standalones as well. Correct, Stacy?
Correct.
So that's
Yes, and our
important to
Be
keep in mind.
Healthy at the
And the
coenzymated B complex that is completely active for everybody to easily absorb, men and women. And I think that caveat here too is the glutathione in here for 45 plus, since it does wane with age. Um, you know,
yes,
through our aging, our cells begin to lose their ability to repair themselves. And so Having strong antioxidants is super important. And so benefiting with glutathione is really increases the levels of overall cellular health,
And
I'd say.
before we switch the product here, I want to quickly finish off on this: the Albion mineral
Mhm.
chelates, the gold
Sure.
standard of minerals here. Let's hear about this exactly. Why is this such a important form of minerals? Tell us about the Albion form.
So I think people will notice that we've just talked about Pure Whey C, patented
Yes.
ingredient Cetria, glutathione, patented ingredient. The Albion is a patented form of minerals that we purchase as well to use in all of our formulas. So Albion, they're biglycinates. So they are several forms of minerals put together in a beautiful recipe. And so creating a very, very highly absorbable mineral. So like you said, the gold standard of excellence. So they chelate their minerals to amino acids. So they're really the real amino acid chelate system. So when we
Uh-huh.
talk about that, bound to amino acids, the body will recognize it as food, just like the active bees. So we're really looking for absorption, and we're
Right.
really looking for the bioavailability of these formulas for the consumer overall who's taking them.
Beautiful. Thanks for that breakdown and clarifying that clinical multi, the 4 a day, and then there's the 1 a day option as well.
Yes.
So take home there is multis are incredibly important to at least round out. It's not a food replacement, it's not a meal replacement, but it really rounds everything out. Is that a good take home for multis? What would you
It is. And what would you do? What would you say as your take on a 1 a day multi? If you're like, we really would like you to take four, and people are going, I'm just going to take one.
Yeah,
Would you suggest that they take other more B complex later on in the day or
exactly.
more vitamin C?
Great.
Can you explain that to your
Right,
consumer?
exactly. I would make them know that the one a
Yes.
day will fall short on magnesium,
Mhm.
vitamin D. You'll probably need to add those extra. So I would tell them if you get the 4 a day version, you won't have to potentially get other products with it. The 4 a day will cover much more
Right.
bases, be more dense. I would explain you might not need this forever, maybe for the next half a year or the next quarter of the year, for example, and then we just assess their progress. But yeah, I would explain it's 4 a day, but you're getting way more nutrition at that. That's pretty much what I would say. And some people wouldn't mind. Some would say, I definitely can't take four. Then we would go with the 1 a day, right?
And
You
they
really
can
got to,
stretch that out,
yeah,
right? They can stretch that out through the day as long as they're getting it in
exactly.
and absorbing that. People do not have to take all four at once. If you have a little bit of food at lunchtime, you take one. At breakfast, you take one, etc. Midday,
Yes.
take another with your snack. Take another one, with dinner. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming, but that really does save the consumer from buying a B complex because you're going to need more B because the 1 a days are not going to have your total amount of your methylfolate or your B vitamins in whole. And like you said, the magnesium and the minerals and specifically some very functional items that you need for daily nutrition.
Right. And so that glutathione in the woman's formula can help with liver health, detoxifying pesticides, fertilizers, all these kinds of crazy chemicals that are in the environment now. But let's hear about the estrogen detox formula. I
Oh,
think it's
great.
called
And
yeah, let's hear about that specifically.
And
How is this different?
glutathione is in that one as well.
Right.
So you kind of hear this being talked about quite a bit. So uncommon denominator of glutathione in the women's health products. Also, this is for men and women as well. So it clearly says it on the label. So the way that I would explain this, Dehan, is the estrogen detox and balance. People do not need to be afraid when they say, "Oh, I don't need that. I've got enough estrogen," or I've had my hormones. So this is nothing about hormones. We're looking at detoxifying the daily oxidative stress that we pull in from the toxins, either through the food, the
Right.
water, um, drugs, pharmaceuticals, alcohol. How about somebody's work environment? Like, geez, some like travel for a living, like myself. Somebody that's in retail that's opening boxes all day long and touching bottles all day long. You don't know where they came from. Factory workers, toll road workers, people on registers all day long with the BPA register tape. Additionally, people that work in in the planes, on the planes, flight attendants, um, pilots, but also the people that clean the planes, clean the hotel rooms, clean the rental cars. So we're talking about a lot of gas off overall from all of these cleaners, even with people in their households, if you're not using organic cleaners. And quite frankly, a lot of people just don't. But when you're looking at the amount of time you're around those cleaners and the gas off of that, that's super important because we're pulling in that toxicity. And this product of the estrogen detox will basically really start to pull out those strong estrogens and make them easier for elimination through the bile and the urine. And I think it was you and Aaron at one point when this first product first came out, you said this product worked very, very quickly on your patients. And so I've always gleaned
Yep.
that, and I try to steer people, then you know your baseline of what you're around every day. You perhaps don't need two every day, right? Would you concur with that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And I wanted to also clarify this is for both men and women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
and so I would say this would be a support for phase one detoxification between 1 and 3 in the morning. When I think that the liver wakes people up, you start to stir. I would say that the liver, jokingly saying, he'd say, "Party's over, everybody out. I've got to start to clean up."
yeah.
And so the liver is really, overworked and underpaid. And so this is a great support. When you look at the B6, has been shown to take strong estrogens, and this is the active B6 and the P5P, strong estrogens, and make some of them beneficial. We have the methylfolate, who's kind of like the ringleader of the bees. Then we've got the methylcobalamin in the superior position. So we're looking at weakening some of these strong estrogens. The magnesium's helping support with the glutathione. This is the Albion magnesium that we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
The Cetria glutathione is in here we were talking about earlier. So the common denominator too with the next three products or ingredients here is we've got the European milk thistle, which is a super potent little guy. So it's got all 6 isomers. So the silymarins and all the rest of the psyllies. It's got 80% silymarins in general. Then we have DIM, which is a metabolite of the I3C. And then we have the I3C in here, which is the strongest of the carbanols. And those two guys come from the brassica family, which is, everybody should know, it's the Brussels sprouts, the cabbages, the broccolis that we've always known to be so beneficial as far as along the vegetable line. So those guys literally grab and pull and help those toxins or those, dominant estrogens pull out. And I think the one thing that people should be aware of, men and women,
Yep.
as we age, we do tend, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we do start to gain a little bit of weight as we age. And a lot of
Yeah.
them are caused, I think, from estrogen dominance. And so the men would start to see it up around the breast area and around the tummy and around the back. The women are going to be around the tummy, around the bottom and the inner and outer thigh. And so this product has been shown to really help kind of curb some of that adipose fat tissue that's kind of hanging around and kind of flush it out. And men can combine this product with the testosterone health and really see a difference as well.
Yeah. And not only Dr. Aaron and myself, but other practitioners are using these clinically, these Emerald Labs products. And the company itself, you can see here on the front here, doctor formulated by Dr. Mark Stangler. He's a naturopath behind the scenes here who started this company, who, by the way, will be on this podcast here soon, right, Stacy? We'll set
Yes,
that up.
I
So
believe April 11th.
I'm excited to talk to Dr. Mark on that
Yes,
first time appearance on the
leaky gut
podcast.
health. He's going to be excited to talk about leaky
Yeah.
gut.
So again, doctor formulated products here used clinically. And I like that it's additive free, both for men and women. Like you said, those changes that happen as men and women start aging, and that's without changing their caloric intake
Right,
necessarily, right? Their food patterns
right.
don't change significantly, and then all of a sudden they're gaining weight. And so that's where we got to start checking out the thyroid as well, and their estrogen and testosterone balance in the body. And what I've mentioned back in the radio days is we actually track the estrogens decreasing, especially in men. In this particular example, I checked a male patient's estrogen levels. They were high, got on this product in particular,
Uh-huh.
and saw those levels dropping over time while their testosterone increased.
And I
So
think that's
it's
another thing
important.
to point out too, as we age, I think people suffer from, like we talked about the weight gain, but also there's more stress that's going on out there. So would you agree that more cortisol is being released? They're not taking enough B vitamins or absorbing them,
Right.
so the adrenals are not supported. And then is it right that the pancreas stops producing so much insulin, and so they hold on to the outer layers of fat that they can't
100%.
figure out why they're gaining the weight? And yeah, so it's all kind of a big cycle. And
Right.
so if you can kind of figure it out, and a lot of people suffering from chronic fatigue, that glutathione can really help out with that as well. So Big fan of the
Absolutely.
glutathione.
Absolutely, Stacy. Perfect. So that was the estrogen detox for both men and women. It has the
Yeah.
I3C in there, the DIM, and there's that glutathione again that we discussed.
Yes.
So you can research all of those nutrients individually here on Google
Hmm.
Scholar and see that everything Emerald is doing is evidence based, all the way down to the exact amounts that you'll find in the formulas. So let's finish off talking about the anti-aging cellular complex,
Okay.
Stacy. This is a
All right.
really unique formula that works well with what we've already been discussing here today.
So if I'm off the top of my head, let me get my catalog. We've got alpha lipoic acid is in there, glutathione, trans resveratrol. I believe there's CoQ10. I think there's yeah, I know that there's a whole fruit, a superfruit line, a blend in there. Let me see. Of course, I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, so glutathione, CoQ10, transresveratrol, grapeseed extract, alpha lipoic acid, and anti-aging. So, okay, on the bottle too, it clearly says for the consumer, this is a cellular complex. So for the listeners, and this can be for men and women as well. I don't want to
Okay.
diss the men because we're not in May yet. So this is for men and women as well.
Right.
So these are all super strong antioxidants. We know that antioxidants, as we age, I said earlier, the DNA starts to kind of, cells aren't repairing themselves. DNA is not as at the forefront of being so healthy anymore. The telomeres start to shorten on the DNA, and that, leads to aging. So glutathione, we just really went over about uh, cellular health and integrity. Alpha lipoic acid is another one of my favorite antioxidants. So alpha lipoic acid could be taken with your B complex as well, to keep your Bs in your system longer. But in this guy, we're looking at this as a really potent antioxidant. We have the CoQ10 in here. This is
Right.
another potent antioxidant, and it's known for skin and for anti-skin aging. And it plays a really big role in that, as well as heart health. The transresveratrol is in here. Transresveratrol as a good heart tonic, and but also a lot of people don't know that it's good for UV protection.
Okay.
Um, and so that's something, and it protects against UV damage. It's been shown to protect the skin from the UV induced damage. So that would be important. So that was from the inside out as well. And it can contribute to collagen, uh, and it helps prevent uh, elastin breakdown.
All right.
That would be really important. And it maintains skin firmness. Okay. Copper maintains skin firmness as well. Um, and it maintains the elasticity by reducing the UV damage.
Wow.
What else is in there? What else
Well,
is
you know what's also in here is that glutathione again. It just shows how
again?
versatile glutathione is. It's
Yeah,
supporting various organ systems and aging gracefully, right?
right. And cellular damage, I think what it should be the takeaway from here, and also that it's from the inside out with tissue repair and liver health. Alpha lipoic acid also great for liver health. It's known as a Europharma. It's great for regenerating the liver and neuropathy. So there's a lot of things that could be cumulative with some of these ingredients and multiple products that you would see a vast array of improvements in different systems, I'd say.
Beautiful. And Stacy, you mentioned the grape seed extract in here, different from grapefruit seed extract, right? This is GSE, then there's grapefruit seed extract, right? These are different.
Right, these are different. This is from the grapeseed extract is grapeseed. It's this, I believe it's the skin of the grape. And so what we're looking at, grapeseed extract 2, is, I believe it's the grapes. No, it's the seed.
Right.
I'm trying to think, it's a seed. So
Right. The seed of the
seed
actual fruit.
of the fruit, yeah. And so I know that that's a big anti-inflammatory, and there's the OPCs that really help with the anti-inflammation as well. And so grapeseed extract, I take 2 a day because we have this as a standalone as well. Like the milk thistle that is in the estrogen detox, that's a standalone for your listeners that want to kind of explore more just super fruits and super potent extracts that are European standardized extracts. So the grapeseed, the grapeseed alone, besides being a super strong antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, is really, really great for the skin. Really great from nourishing the skin from the inside out.
Amazing. Good.
Do you
So
have
we've
anything to
highlighted,
add about
I mean,
grapeseed
you
extract?
nailed it. Honestly, that's the big one.
Okay.
It's a strong antioxidant. It protects on a cellular level. That's very important because as people age, the cell function just slows down. They're not as affected. They're overburdened by all the stress and oxidation in our environment. So grapeseed extract really comes in there and calms
And
that whole process
helps,
down.
yeah, helps diminish the wrinkles, but like we're talking about also helping with the elasticity. Grapeseed extract is really great, and I believe we sell it in either a 2-month or a 3-month supply, and it is the size of like a little tic tac. And so people would not only see skin rejuvenation and just more moisture in the skin, because
Right.
like you were saying too, as we age, the elastin diminishes, collagen
Yeah.
diminishes. That's where you start to see the onset of wrinkles and a lot of dry skin. The grapeseed also, that extract also helps keep that moisture in the skin, which is important.
100%. What would you leave us with here then, Stacy? We've covered the estrogen detox formula, the
Mhm.
anti-aging cellular complex by
Mhm.
Emerald Labs, and even the women's 45 plus. There's both the one a day, then there's the
The
clinical
multis.
4 a day
So I would
multi.
say that there's something for all the gals out there. We've got, there's plenty. I mean, so I think the takeaway would be considering these products would be that we're looking at anti-aging from the inside out. We're looking at detoxifying harmful toxins that could also contribute to aging and unwellness. We're looking at a daily multi that could really suffice with adding the nutritional benefits that you need every day. Even if you do have a good diet, you cannot go wrong with a really good quality one a day. And that's what Emerald Labs provides. We're looking at result-driven products. We're all additive-free, gluten-free, 100% soy-free, common allergen-free, really affordable, and 100% non-GMO. So this is a very clean company with formulas that are meant to really amend or prevent or ameliorate whatever that consumer's looking for. But the takeaway would be result-driven.
Stacy, thank you for coming on for episode 123. It's always a pleasure. You've never missed a beat here with us, so I appreciate you for
Thanks,
coming
Dan.
on and representing Emerald Labs. And I look forward to talking to Dr. Mark.
Okay, have a great month ahead until I'll talk to you at the end of the month, at the end of May, I think. I'm not sure.
Looking
But
forward to it.
all
Thank you,
right.
Stacy.
Bye.